in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's the Grade 1 Meadowlands Cup. This ESPN sports presentation is brought to you by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By the Thoroughbred Racing Associations, assuring the highest racing standards, where tonight they run for the cup of the field of thoroughbreds that is the richest ever to run here. Total earnings more than $10.8 million. And they compete tonight for the richest purse ever offered for thoroughbreds at the Meadowlands. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lake as they welcome you to a special night of racing here. The Meadowlands moved the cup a week early, raised the purse by $100,000, then got a break from the weatherman last week at Belmont to get the big horse. And he's here, Ali Sheba, to run in the spotlight tonight. Let's check our race conditions. The Meadowlands Cup is a Grade 1 event. $600,000 the guaranteed purse. They go the classic American racing distance of 1.25 miles for the thoroughbreds 3 and up. Dave Johnson's with us tonight to call the cup. Let's go to Dave Johnson now to get a look at this field. And it is a field of stars. Let's go to Dave.
And Chris, the number 1 horse is Crypto Clearance, who will carry 119 pounds. Under handicap conditions, Jose Santos rides, and 9-2 the starting price. Pleasant Virginian, number 2 with Marco Castaneda, 114 the weight and 20-1 on the tote board. Ali Sheba starts as the very heavy choice, 3-5 in the morning line, and Chris McCarron rides, 127 pounds the high weight. Number 4, Maceo, has been scratched, leaving us 2 more competitors. Slew City Slew, 10-1, Lafitte Pinkai Jr. in 116, and Bet Twice completes the field with Craig Perrette, 123 pounds and 5-2. Well, if Ali Sheba wins, it will be the highest weight ever carried to victory by a Meadowlands Cup winner. But old John Henry carried the most in the Meadowlands Cup. But as you can see, Mehmet in the 1982 edition beats John Henry to the wire. It's certainly ironic that now Ali Sheba is chasing John Henry in terms of the amount of money won by a horse, because Ali Sheba is second on the list behind John Henry. Chris?
Thank you, Dave. Our special guest, our Terry message tonight, Bob Mulcahy. He is the CEO, president of the New Jersey Sports Authority. And what a big night of racing. You pulled it off again.
Well, it's a great night here, Chris, in New Jersey. It's the 3rd time we've had Ali Sheba in 2 years, and it's like a rematch. Each has won once, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Real impact for the TRA Eclipse Award.
Well, of course, Ali Sheba's, I won't say a lock, but is close to a lock at Horse of the Year, and certainly a fine performance tonight will go a long way toward that.
Bob, thank you. Great crowd tonight. A great job of getting a great race.
Well, thank you very much. Nice to have you here, Chris.
Bob Mulcahy of the Meadowlands, and we'll be back as the horses enter the paddock for the Meadowlands Cup. Stay with us.
Night Meadowlands fans a treat as he had a public workout under the lights, a very important workout under the lights, 59-2 for 5 furlongs. And with more on the great Ali Sheba story, here's Chris.
There are few who reach the lofty status of superstar. One was John Henry, who ran and won his last race here at the Meadowlands 4 Octobers ago, and then retired as the sport's all-time leading money earner. Now there is Ali Sheba. He reigns as today's brightest star in racing. There is no other thoroughbred in training who has the box office appeal of this 4-year-old son of Aladar. It is only for Ali Sheba that racetracks would raise purses or move racing dates. His feats have been well chronicled, starting when he picked himself up after stumbling in the stretch at Churchill Downs to win last year's Kentucky Derby, and then go on to win the Preakness and the $1 Million Super Derby, before the dramatic loss by a nose to Ferdinand here in the Breeders' Cup Classic. At 3, he earned a year-end championship and over $2.5 million. Now he's 4, and he's even better. He avenged his classic loss to Ferdinand with wins early this year in the Santa Anita Handicap and the San Bernardino. He put away his old rival Bet Twice in the Island Handicap. And in his last out, proved he could win in New York with the dramatic track record victory in the Woodward Stakes. Now second on the all-time money earnings list, just over $30,000 shy of the $5 million mark. Ali Sheba does more than just win races. He has style and charisma, and his owners, Dorothy and Pamela Scarborough of Texas, have been overwhelmed by the national support.
Well, I'm very gratified. Pam and I and Clarence have been so amazed at the people who found this horse so great. there's so many people that think he's just as good as we think he is. And it's kind of an humbling experience to realize that so many people wish you well with this horse and want the best for this horse. And, of course, that's what we want for this horse.
His trainer, Jack Van Berg, the man who has saddled more winners than anyone in the history of this sport, appreciates what Ali Sheba has done more than anyone.
It's hard to get a horse with. You can get him with the talent, you can get him with the conformation, but then you have to have that good Lord looking over your shoulder and keep him sound for you. That's the main thing. We've been very fortunate with this horse. He's just as sound today as the day he was born, and that's something that, you know, they can chip knees, chip ankles, hurt their tendons, and various things, you know, and we've been very lucky. You just have to thank God that this horse has stayed as sound as he is.
The head of the Scarborough family, Clarence, talked about some of the big decisions coming up for the horse, like will he run next year at 5, and where will he stand upon his retirement.
There's still that slim possibility that he might be campaigned again next year. But right now, Chris, I can't tell you anything definite. And as to where he would go or where he would stand, that hasn't been decided, definitely. And we're just thankful that we've got the kind of horse that they're all the major farms are interested in, and we want to try to get him to the best place where he can be mated to the best mares, and hopefully, you know, 4 or 5 years, see some of those little Ali Shebas come running.
Until that time, we'll just have to settle for the Ali Sheba, racing's brightest star. There is Ali Sheba right now, 2-5, the betting choice here at the Meadowlands for the Meadowlands Cup. With the triumph comes tragedy in this sport. We had one yesterday at Belmont Park, New York. Here's Dave Johnson with a reflection of a very somber moment in this sport. Dave?
Tragedy is just too soft a word to describe the death of jockey Mike Venezia in a racing accident at Belmont Park yesterday. His passing once again points out what a dangerous profession being a race rider really is. Between races this evening, a moment of silence was observed by the riding colony here and by the Meadowlands fans. Mike was a proud family man and a truly professional jockey who was liked by all and was a great credit to our sport. Our deepest sympathy to his family. The memory of Mike Venezia will stay with us always.
Is on the track, and here are the latest odds here. The Crypto Clearance at 4-1, Pleasant Virginia at long at 45, Ali Sheba the 3-5 favorite, Scratch Massio, Slew City, Slew 5, and Bet Twice at 3-1. And on the track, there is Ali Sheba, just about 30,000 away from the $5 million mark, the richest horse in training right now.